Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is David Odili, and today I'll be teaching you how to design this church flyer in Photoshop. So for those of you who haven't subscribed, majority of you that haven't subscribed and watched my videos, please subscribe, like and comment. Without further ado, let's get straight into today's work. Come.
So welcome to this tutorial. So we're going to be creating this, and first of all what we do is we create a new document. Control N, and I'll click on our canvas size. I use 11 by 11 inches, 11 by 11 inches, 300 resolution, RGB color mode, white background. I'll click on create. Then what we do is that we will create and add our colors here. Our colors are red and blue. Red and blue. Colors are red and blue. Red and blue. Right, so these are our colors that we use for this design. So what we're going to do, we're going to create a new layer. We're going to go to our gradient tool, click on G on the keyboard, select our gradient tool. Then we're just going to drag this gradient here upwards. So we've created our gradient. I want the red to be on top. So I want to just press X to change it, so the red will come to the top. Okay. So this is what we have. We have our gradients like this. Alright. Then what we're going to do, we're going to divide this document into 3 equal parts. So we're going to go to Windows, if you go to View here, we're going to go to New Guide Layouts. Then we're going to click on, remove this margin. We're going to click on column. We're going to click on remove this gutter here, 0. Then we're going to click on 3 columns for the 3 images that were there. I'm going to bring our rectangle to I'm going to draw a rectangle here, Then we're going to hold on Alt and drag it here and drag it here. So we have created this here. So what we're going to do, we're going to change the color of this. We're going to change the color of this to red here. Then we'll leave these ones like that. So I'm going to drag in my pictures and put it inside my pictures from the exercise file. I'm going to drag in my pictures and power clip it inside these images here, these squares. So I'm going to power clip this one here, create clipping mask. Then I'll press Ctrl T on my keyboard and drag to place. Then I'm going to bring in another picture under my pictures. I'm going to drag this one in just above this layer. I'm going to click in create clipping mask. So I'm going to drag this one here. It's too big, so I'll press Ctrl T on my keyboard and reduce it to where it will fit. Okay, then dragging under my image, this one, into the design, take it above this rectangle here. I'm going to create clipping mask here. Create clipping mask. Ctrl T. and I'll drag it to where it's meant to be here. Okay, so that's the first stage of the design. All right, so that's the first stage of the design. So what next I did here is that I added some shadows under them, but I'm not going to do that now. I'm just going to go to my highlights, bring in my highlights here. Okay, I did something here. I converted this one to smart objects. Then I added filter, added noise to it. Go to filter and add noise, and add noise, added noise, 10 amount of 10 uniform. Then that's that for that. So what I also did, I brought in my highlights PNG here. I just brought in my highlights and I'll bring it to the top to create a kind of a boundary between these Control T, between each of the pictures. So I'll bring it here and make sure I make it bigger. And then I'll still rotate it a bit so that it will be straight. So I'll just put it here. Okay. Now we also need to rotate it a bit like this. Alright, just put it here like this. Now I can just clear guides here. Clear guides. So I move the highlights just between the pictures. I'm using my arrow buttons. Just move it. And I want to make another adjustments to it. Just make a little adjustment to it. See, you can see it's not straight, very straight. So I'll press Ctrl T and just bend it a bit. Okay. Alright, so this one I'm just going to increase this. Let it go under this. Alright. Sorry. Ctrl T, I want to remove this aspect ratio. Let it just go under that. And to hide this overlapping here. To hide this mark here, so I'll just select this, Ctrl T, and just drag it here. I think that will settle that. Okay, I want to change the blend mode of this to overlay. Here, or I'll just leave it as color dodge. Normal. Okay, I'll change the color dodge. Then I'll duplicate it, Ctrl J, and then I hold and drag it to this other place here. And I also duplicate it again twice. So I've created that. So what I want to do next is I'll go down to this gradient layer and Ctrl J, duplicate it, then bring it to the top here, covers everything, and I'll rasterize it, rasterize layer. Then what I'll do, I'll use my eraser to make sure my flow is about 20. Use my eraser to use a big brush and just clean out this top here. Okay, I want to make sure that I don't make any mistake. All right. See, I don't want the edges to show, so I'll reduce the brush size. I want the edges of the pictures to show. I'll reduce the brush size. Yeah, the edges to show. I'll duplicate it again. Click on these layers and merge them. Okay, let's reduce the brush size a bit using our bracket keys, and I've gotten this. Okay, I've gotten this. So we've gotten somewhere this. Then what's next? What's next with this? I added like an overlay of the images. I did like an overlay of the images here. So what I did here, I just selected these 3 images, then duplicated them, and grouped, then brought them to the top. Then I changed their blending mode. I changed the blending mode of this to lighting. Okay. Just place Ctrl T here, then drag them under here, lighting. Alright, I want to name this layer pictures. I want to change it to about 37%. 37, nice, 37. Then this one is, I'm going to group this one. Group this one here, hold Shift and Control, then select them, group them. So I'll name this one pictures. So the design is almost set. See, I'll be able to establish the background. So what I did again, I used text effect. You can download this text effect from freepik.com, and it makes your topics to look good, your themes to look very good. So download it from freepik.com. You see a lot of text effect there. So this is the text effect, the PSD text effect, and all these ones are downloaded from freepik.com. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to just change the text. I remove the title layer because I don't need this title. I don't need this title, so I'm going to remove it. And what I'm going to do, I want to change the background. I want to change the text. So I'll click on it. Then I'll change it to anniversary. Anniversary. I'll change this one. I'm going to change the font to Monument. Monument expanded. Regular. I'm going to change the tracking to 0. And I'm going to change the size to 90. I'll change the size to 90. I'm going to add one N here. Anniversary. Alright, anniversary. Then I'm going to increase the tracking to 35. 35. So there'll be space between the letters. Alright. Go to Ctrl A, and move it to the middle here. So this is this. I'm going to close it, save changes to it, then he applies it to this here. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to remove this light, this FX light here. I don't need this. I don't need that. Then I'm going to remove the background. I don't need the background also. So I'm just going to select these shadows, color correction together. I'm going to group it and I'm going to convert it to smart objects. So we're going to take some time. Then now Ctrl T, press Ctrl T, and change the size. Just change the size a bit. Alright. So I can duplicate this and send it to my document. So I have this to be above this. So you can see it's too big. I'm going to take it down to about 70, 65. Alright, 65 is good, goes with me. So I'm going to bring in my tone paper effect PNG. Just bring it in and place this one here, place it under this, and can bring this one on top of it. Just bring it here. Alright, I think I should take this down a bit. Then I want to add, I think I added something on top of that. Yes, I want to add something to this. Let's close this one. No. I added something to this, just on top of this. I'll click on that layer, go to my gradient tool. I'm going to remove this blue, add red here, then remove this. I think I want to change it to this. I want to delete this. I want to remove this opacity, change the opacity to 0, so it will just be background to foreground to transparent. So this is my gradient here. I'll just draw a gradient here, quick gradient here, so that to balance the colors. Okay, I can just take this one back a bit. Okay, yes. Then what I will do is I can now start implementing my text, writing my text down. Before that, I want to change something to this. I want to change the color of this. So to change the color of something, you can just add hue and saturation to it. You create clipping mask. Then you can colorize it. The color of it changes. You can just move the sliders up and down. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to change it back to default. Then I'm going to add saturation to it and reduce the saturation of it a bit. Okay, I think I'm okay with this. Alright, so what is next is to start adding my text here. Adding my text. So I'm going to type in my text here. I want them to be in white. Them to be in white, so I'll change it to white. we change the I'll change this one down, bring it down to 30. All right, the Kingdom Shakers. I'll change this, take this one down to 9 to 10 to 10. Let me see what I used here. Okay, here I used 24. I'm going to change this one to 24. 24 here. 24. I'm going to centralize it. Centralize this here. Then I'm going to add another text here. I'm going to use the text Ubuntu, which is in the description below, in the source file. So I'm going to change the tracking to 1200. Change the size to 14. I'm going to centralize it. Press Ctrl A, select all, align it to the center. So Kingdom Shakers celebrating our second anniversary. The Kingdom Shakers celebrating our second anniversary. I'm going to press X here. I'm going to bring my rectangle tool and draw on top this one here. And my red, I'll take this one down. Yeah. Right. Then I'm going to change this, remove the stroke, change the appearance, make it darker, a bit darker. It's too dark. All right. Right. Then I'm going to drag in this. I'm just going to drag this down. Hold Alt and drag. No, holding the wrong one. I'm going to change this one. Okay, we can drag this one down. Hold this one and drag it down here. Then we're going to put the topics. Just going to put here and copy it. Copy this one. Copy. I'm going to paste it here. I'm going to paste it here. And delete this Lauren Newson. I'm going to paste it here. V. Control V. Alright. So you can just copy it and paste it. So the size is Ubuntu regular 24 size 19. So we're going to also hold Alt and drag just to duplicate. Then we're going to copy this. We're going to copy this one also. Copy this one. Copy this one. I'm going to paste it here. Copy this one and paste it there. Okay. Right. Then we're going to drag this. Just drag it here and drag on that one here. I'm just going to type in here September 12. Sept. 12. 2022. Then I want to change this one to also September 11th. 2022. Then we'll click on Control A. And now balance it, centralize it. Let's move this up. Move this one up. Move this one up. Move this one up here. Select it. Let's show transform controls that you can see what you're moving. And let me lock this layer. Let me lock this pictures layer so it doesn't get affected with whatever I'm doing. So we're almost done with this. Okay. Izubu. So I want to change the size of this. I want to change the size of this to 18. Change the size of this to 18. I want to square it, centralize it. Centralize this. Okay. And we can also decide to just put a bit of contrast under this layer. Just like contrast here to make the layer a bit contrast, because the layer is a bit light, so you can just put contrast to make there'll be a contrast between the background and the foreground, right? And what we're going to do next, I'm going to write our name, these names here that we wrote here. I'm going to write it there. We can just drag this here. Right. I'm going to write doctor here. And we change this one to, I want to change the size of this two, change it to 18 since it's too small. Change it to 18. Change the size of this to 18. I want to change his name to David. I want to change this to Chinaza. So what I'm going to change, I'm going to use on that font to write their surname there. Alright, I wrote King here. King. think all right, I'm going to change this to Julieta Messi. I think that's what I use. Julieta Messi. Julieta Messi. And I'm going to change this. Now change it. I'm going to increase the size of this. 24, 30. Okay, I'll go with that. 30. Right. Hold down Alt drag. Hold down Alt drag. Then I can change the names. Just press T on my keyboard or just select the text tool. Dr. E.T.Y. E.T.Y. Dr. E.T.Y. E.T.Y. So I can select everything together, all the names and group them. I'll change the name to names. Then I'll Ctrl T. Then I'll increase it a bit, 110. Okay. I can just adjust this layers a bit. Then what I'll do, I'll set this group, then I'll centralize it here. Centralize it. Okay, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. Now I can move this one a bit down. Move this one down a bit. Then move this one down a bit. This one down. Select this one and this one. Move this one down a bit. And move this one down a bit. So we'll be space in between them. So I'm going to add another rectangle here, or just duplicate this rectangle. Ctrl T, B, Ctrl J to duplicate. Then I'll just drag it here. I'll just drag it here. Here, okay. I'm going to write type host here. Host. Change this host here. I will change the text to Ubuntu. Ubuntu 16. The size of it is 16. Then I'll change the size to the text to medium here. It will be a bit visible. So let me zoom in. You can see the triangle is a bit big. Rectangle is a bit big, so I'll just change the size. Okay. Then the last thing I'm just going to duplicate this layer here. Then I will resize it to be small. I'll resize it. Lock aspect ratio. Resize it to be small. Here. here. Then I can just add I just duplicate this WhatsApp here. This WhatsApp will be available in the description below to download. Just duplicate it here to be available for you to download. I'll change the size again of this thing. I'll change it to 39, 38, 37. So just drag this one here. Then I will change this to red here. Then I write Kingdom Shakers Group. Kingdom Shakers Group. All in caps. Shakers Group. Alright. Kingdom Shakers Group. Alright, so that is this. That is that for that. So almost done with this, but there's one thing I'm not done here. You can see that is there's still contrast in it. There's still contrast in it. I think I will. Let me remove this contrast here first. So I think I will add my contrast on top here. I want my contrast here. My contrast minus 41, be 41 here. Then I'll add my dust, this dust here. I'll add my dust texture. My dust texture here, I'll drag it in. Change it to color dodge. Let me bring it down here and Ctrl T. I will scale it above every other thing. All right. Every other thing. This is this. Then one more thing, I add in one of my pattern layer. All right. So this is the original, and this is the one I just made here. So I'm going to do a lot of corrections on it for it to look like this and look like this here. And let me change the opacity of this. Okay. Then this layer here, I will move it a bit, and let's lock this one. Let's lock this. That doesn't affect that. Let's move it like this. Then this, deleting this. All right. This pictures layer again. Okay. All right, so we have this, and let's go back to this layer, and reduce the opacity and increase the opacity, or reduce the opacity. Okay, so we have gotten this. So we are almost done with the design. So what I did next, I added shadows to these designs here. So I just used my brush to go to the folder and added shadows to it. I'll just create a new layer in between it, then select this, change it to darkish color, then use my brush to this very big now. Use my size of my brush, then I'll just add shadow, a bit of shadow at the back. Actually, the shadow is darkish red. Just add some shadow at the back. Add the shadow at the back. Do the same for this one. Add a layer underneath it. And add it here. Then just use your brush to and draw here. Sorry, draw here. Just draw it softly here. Okay. Then I'm going to do this one. Made a mistake here. I'm going to click on this, add blue here, dark blue here, then draw here, X, then draw here, my blue. Let's reduce the brush size, draw here. Okay, then I'll do the same for this picture here. I'll draw here. Okay, so I've come to the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed the video.